So this is Dr. Aisha. She is a therapist on TikTok that I follow, and I really enjoy her takes. She is speaking to this comment right here, talking about speak for the men you encounter. And I really like her take on this. If you're on TikTok, you need to find this video and watch it. And you need to read some of the comments in the comment section. But when people do these types of comments, they're acting like women can control the men that they encounter. We encounter people all the time. You cannot control that. That's number one. Number two, even if you can vet properly, like it's so disingenuous to imagine or like not tell the truth that a lot of these people are wearing a mask. They speak to each other about how to manipulate women, how to do the love bombing tactics, all of these tactics that they do. That means that we don't really know the people that we are encountering. We know a facade that they put on. We know an actor, but we don't necessarily know the people that we encounter because they're not being truthful. You would have to be truthful about who you are for women to be like, ah, that's not a good person. So that's number two. And number three, you got to watch this video because what she starts to do, she's pulling from her range, her 20-year professional range of the different people that she has been around. And then she's pulling from her range of experience as a human woman on this earth and talking about the men that women have encountered, either talking about it from a professional experience or personal experience, how yes, men are out here traumatizing women. That's just, the basics of it. Talking about it is in literally in medical charts that men can't come into room.
One of the things I want to share with you about this comment, where it's basically a man saying that if you have experienced these horrible men, it's your fault, right? Basically, and you need to pick better, right? Let me just give you a quick story about that. If you're new to my content, my name is Miss Aisha. I'm a licensed therapist. I'm in private practice now, but for the first 10 years of my career, I worked in jails, psych hospitals, substance abuse treatment facilities. I worked in people's homes. I did therapy in the budget suites. Do you hear me? And I worked in nursing homes. And I worked in about 3 different nursing homes as the director of social services. And I can tell you this, and I'm going to tag Nursing TikTok because I want them to chime in on this. As a director of social service in every single nursing home I worked in, I want you to hear what I'm saying. There were always women in the nursing home who had doctor's orders in their chart that no men could enter their room and no men could take care of them because they have been traumatized. These are women that have full-blown dementia, full-blown Alzheimer's, but they remember the trauma. They remember the trauma. And so men could not work with them. This was a doctor's order in a medical chart. If you're any person in the medical field, you know that a medical record is a legal document. It is a legal document. And it has happened in every nursing home where I've been. And anyone that been around animals can tell you, there are animals where you go to the shelter, because I just got my cat. You go to the shelter, cannot be around men, scared around men. How many signs have you seen that a dog or a cat is scared of a woman, can't be around a woman? It's never happened. And lastly, I've been in this field for 22 years, right? 22 years. My youngest client was maybe 4. Oldest client had to be like 104. 22 years. Over 90% of the women that I have worked with in 20 years have been abused by a man, have been physically, the other type, emotionally, all of them. So if 90% of the people that I have worked with and 95% of my friends, including myself, have been a victim, who are you talking to? Who are your friends? Because either it's you or you're not listening, because it's impossible that this is so common and you know nothing about it. And you talk about you got an Aquarius moon, you better change that. That's not Aquarius energy at all.
Okay, so the original comment told her to speak on the men that she has encountered, like you encountered. So I'm going to read some of these because there are 2,100 comments. And be aware, look at the pictures of the women that are talking. This person says, I'm 46. I've never made a female friend that a man hadn't traumatized somehow. Miss Grey Goddess says, same. And I'm nearly 60. This person says, for real though, all the women in my life have been traumatized in one way or another by men. Pamela says, same. A friend gang raped in the 80s and they blamed her. Victim blaming someone for being gang raped. Dinosaur says, literally same. Nana Skates says, I'm 49 and never known a woman who hasn't been played by these men. Lucky Girl says, facts, me either. Hermeline says, truth. Carlene brings up 4B. She says, 4B is choosing better for ourselves and they're already losing their minds. Everything they say is a gaslight. Pitt School says, 4B, let's go. Jab say, I think they've always been like this. We just seeing through the BS now. Summer Rain, 100. And the crazy part is, men who have been traumatized by men and still won't hold them accountable. This person says, yes, this is spot on. Majestic says, amen. That's what I always tell people. WMMS says, choosing doesn't work. They usually don't reveal themselves until it's way too late. S. McP says, this is the absolute truth. They never lead with their issues or crazy. They wait till you're super involved. Lexi says, I worked in a daycare and the male workers weren't allowed to change diapers. Aisha, the therapist, says, me too. At the time I was like, why do I have to change all the diapers? Now I know why. Muffin Eater says, I had a dementia patient the other day who would cling to me like a child every time a male worker walked past the room. Chicolata says, I would literally start tearing up at the same time assuring her that she is safe. Red Wine says, oh God, poor lady. Philly Mama says, amen. I don't know a woman who has not been traumatized by a man. Every man, father, husband, son, brother, disappoints and traumatizes. Carolyn says, my father was a good man, so I thought a lot of men were decent. The world showed me different. And then Philly Mama says, I understand. Rare thing indeed. I thought my father was a good man too. I can look back now and see my mother suffered in silence. She died young, and I believe it was from heartbreak, disillusion. Gretchen says, my mom has dementia and can't remember my face, but she still doesn't want to be around a man. Buttermilk says, they act as if nothing has ever been wrong because it never has been for them. Don says, of course, we are all responsible for who we date, but when these dudes tell you to pick better, they are just blaming the victim. Absolutely. So I just wanted to show you a little bit about what some of the women were saying in these comment sections. Yeah, you guys talk, what these people talk like women are just out here choosing wrong. But how are women supposed to choose better? How are women supposed to encounter better people without them being better people? Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Marvin, aka actor London Brown, I guess that's his real name, London Brown. He had some things to say on this video. He was incredulous about women cheating back. He said that's the most immature thing a woman can do. Y'all have got to see this video. He's fumbling for his words, but you could tell he is trying to get that point across. Just fumbling though. Hold on.
You could do as a woman. Why would you devalue yourself to call yourself getting back at the man? Why would you do that? I'm not tearing you down. I'm saying because I value the woman, why would you reduce yourself down to his level? That don't even make any sense. Cheat back? You think cheating back? Listen. So you're gonna cheat first and lose a good man? Okay. Do you see how that argument makes no sense? Why would you cheat back? You're gonna add another body to your resume in order to get back at a dude that you don't plan on getting back with? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. And also, if you think you can cheat and not have feelings for another guy, you got one or two things going on. Either you're lying and you do have feelings, or you're dealing with what's called emotional suppression. Lenny, what's emotional suppression? Emotional suppression is when we have, due to trauma and so forth, we have these feelings that have been that has a blockade in front of them. You got some real you got some real. If you're a woman who can sleep around and not feel nothing, get some therapy. Go get some therapy. I know y'all feel like I'm fine, I can do what a man do. You've been hurt. I'm not tearing you down. I'm not tearing you down. I'm saying I'm encouraging you to go get some help. I understand what it is. Even if you don't understand what it is. Cheat back, that's the most immature thing you could do as a woman.
Now for some of the comments. Forever Dina says, he really talks too damn much. Me, I said, I wonder when the conversation will ever be from the man to men to not cheat in the first place and be a decent partner in a relationship. Miss OK to Burke, she says, who said we don't feel nothing? We feel the new eggplant we taking. Next discussion, Marvin. Mr. Jerome Trammell says women are always held to a higher standard by the exact men that shouldn't even have the privilege of being in their company. Yes, Mr. Jerome. Beautiful Enigma says, why is there limited advice for men, but so much for women? Exactly. When do men ever start talking to men about just integrity, honesty, coming home, leading their peen home to the to the right woman? Just Jasmine says, fear mongering women into not giving you a dose of your medicine was a good try. They are really trying it. He fumbled over a lot of words, but he was expressive with it. Miss Fashion Connoisseur says, because they can't take it and be ready to jump. They cheat 50 times and you barely go out to dinner once. This person in the middle says, he said, cheating is for men only and you better not retaliate. That damn Karen says, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. And then that made the men's start talking a little bit. Sound like y'all don't like the nature of being a woman, so y'all want to be men. Y'all always say the same ish. Men do it. Duh, Riri. We do it because it's our nature. Do all silly 304s understand testosterone is more hard to control them like y'all emotions? Y'all women are really, really, Riri and don't like the nature of how God created y'all, but want the nature of men. So he typed some words for for that damn Karen. So this person says he also said women should be comfortable getting cheated on. Men like him, you have to interview their mothers. That's how you humble them. Now, she said in the comments that he was saying this in another video, not necessarily this one. So obviously his stances are a little suspect. All right, Marvin. And so this person at the top says, did he say we're going to lose a good man? And Hillboy 74 says, cheating doesn't define a man. I want to talk about cheating doesn't define a man because when you are cheating, it does kind of define you because it takes a series of actions to get to the cheating. You have to be in a relationship where you have said, we are committed to each other. And then once you start cheating, you have made a decision to step outside of that. You have found someone, you have lied about where you're going to be for however many times, however many different places. So yes, it has defined you as a liar and someone that lacks integrity. So I do believe that cheating does define you as a person. You are a person that lacks integrity and doesn't care about how the other person would feel at all, or their health, because yes, you can impact someone's health by being a cheater. So y'all jump in, weigh in. What do you think about Marvin and his diatribe? Parents, y'all better start teaching your sons how to do life. More women are pulling back from, caretaking and unpaid labor for men. So parents of right now, if you can still salvage your son, make sure that they know how to do life once they get outside of your home. I was tagged in this post twice. Ruby B says, I used to date a guy whose mom would come wash his clothes every weekend. She eventually confided in me how difficult it was becoming to care for her son in her older years and said she regretted raising him to be so dependent. I don't know why she told me that, but I left him soon after. She said, for clarity, there's nothing wrong with acts of service as a love language towards your children, obviously. What is terrible is allowing your elderly, exhausted mother to continue managing tasks you are fully capable of accomplishing yourself. Take care of your mothers. And not just take care of your mothers. These people are supposed to be the most logical leader, and they can't figure out how to push a button. Like, using the washing machine is not particularly hard. It really isn't. But these most logical leaders that jump into our comment section and let us know that they built the world struggle with the most basic tasks. Someone has to make this make sense. But for right now, we're going to jump into the comments. Okay, Grizzy says, did you have a word about this with the both of them? Did the mother even tell the son that she can't continue chores for him? Cooking, washing, and cleaning are all a man needs to get done in a house, and this can be outsourced by the son, freeing you and the mother. So still, a man is wanting a woman to take on these tasks of helping this man navigate things. Like, help him outsource, as opposed to saying these men need to learn how to do basics by themselves. Mumble says, outsource. Laughing my butt off. If he can't do it himself, he should just admit himself to a home, to be honest. How incompetent can a grown person get? Yes, let's start being plain with these people. And I doubt that it's not that he's incompetent. I doubt that he's just being lazy. So this person says there's definitely something wrong with enabling your children to remain children. This is a dysfunctional guy that was raised by a helicopter parent. Completely unacceptable on any level. You did right to run. He'll want a mommy, not a wife. Don't do this to your kids. Now, I've talked about the fact that the mom to wife pipeline is drying up. Women are opting out. A lot of women are talking about 4B. A lot of women are even talking about the fact that if they are in a relationship, that they would rather keep their own place because they want to avoid people like this, avoid men like this. So parents, y'all are doing your sons a disservice to not teach them how to properly adult. Ivy says, I once dated a guy whose mom drove all his meals from her apartment to his and sat in his living room while he ate in his room and then left with the dishes to wash them at home. No, I'm not kidding. Yes, we broke up right after I found this out. And then she says, girl, he was so mean to her. The day we broke up, he threw her phone out the car window. May Jailer says, did she not work? And Ivy says she didn't. Her husband was the breadwinner. This person, Thuli, says, my mother does this too. She washes clothes for my brother even when she's tired from work. He's 30. Then Urban says, she's creating a monster. And then Thuli says, he already is. He's entitled to care like this. When she's not around, he turns to me and my other brother to help him. I ignore him. Lots of women are opting out of this unpaid labor, and I am here for it. Women have to keep saying no. Okay, so now people are starting to try to figure out what was his ethnicity, what's his nationality. Papa Pamp says, was he Mexican? Closet Omar Apollo Stan says, here I was thinking he was Arab. Ask me how I know. Okay, so this person says, my Mexican mom had me washing my own clothes since I was 13. Stupid Girl says, no, because them Mexican boys don't never grow up. This person at the bottom says, nah, that's some American. So people are sitting up here trying to figure out who is this. But I have a global network. I see women all across the world saying pretty much the same thing, that many of these dudes are growing up being enabled. They're being enabled because their moms usually are doing everything for them. You guys jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one, and don't forget to like, comment, and share.